All right, guys, thanks so much for joining today. This is Stefana Muller. In case you don't know who I am, I see a few people on the line today, and I'm recording the session for those who are working during the day and can't get here. But what we wanted to go through today is the Long Island Women in Tech call for volunteers. Every year I try to put together one call that explains to you what the organization is about, because maybe you found us online, or you probably heard me speak at an event or something and you don't know what it's all about. And I'm going to also share with you how you may volunteer for the organization, because this is a fully volunteer-driven organization. None of us do this for a full-time job, and we could always use your help. So today I'll go through just a bit of a background on Long Island Women in Tech, and so that anyone who's new to the organization and wants to know what it's all about and where it came from will get that information. And then we'll go through some of the volunteer opportunities that we have open right now. So this is something that Long Island Women in Tech was formed about 3 years ago. And the reason why is Stefana, me, I couldn't find people close to me on Long Island that I can network with. And I'm really focused on women in tech because I couldn't find women anywhere in my network. When I looked at my network, or even just looked at my team at work, I had about 100 employees and 3 of them were women. So I really felt that bringing an organization close to Long Island would help us, right? So that we didn't have to go and drive into New York City or take a train in or travel to just network with people who are like us. And there are many women on Long Island who work in technology roles or supportive technology roles. And they just don't have a community or a mentorship available to them. So let's go back to our mission. We aim to increase the number of women in tech roles on Long Island. So not only just helping those women in their current roles, but also increase those roles on Long Island by instituting workshops at the school level and with Long Island businesses and so on. And we want to do that by providing a supportive community, mentorship, career development, and education to women at all levels of their careers. So who we are, we're now a network of over 400 members. We started with just one, that was me, and it grew over the past 3 years. This was a meetup group initially, and then we decided it's got to be a little bit more than that because not everyone is on that platform. We have women in tech at all levels of their careers. We have students, many recent graduates who are looking for opportunities, internships, and so on. We have a bunch of male allies as part of the organization. What I call a male ally is a guy who wants to be networking with our group as well. Obviously, we have a great skill set here as part of the group, and this isn't exclusive at all, right? Obviously, anyone can join. We are Long Island residents, but we're also global citizens. A lot of our members who've moved out of Long Island or members of my network or other networks have joined in on Long Island Women in Tech. I have members in South Africa and Turkey who reach out to us. I laugh at that because it was a Long Island focused thing, and then people started spreading the word about our webinars and the material that we put out. So it's gone farther than that. We have startup founders and business owners, and we have, newbies who just started out in their career. So it's a diverse background. We don't exclude, and really hope to engage people at all levels of their career. I find it's interesting. Long Island seems to be an interesting area, right? When I go to Denver, or if I go to Silicon Valley or LA, and I attend a meetup that's women focused, or even New York City, and I attend a meetup that's women focused, it's packed. There are, you can't get in. It's you can't even sign up because they've reached their max capacity. However, on Long Island, you set something like that up and we're all going to stay in our homes. and I think Nobody really comes out of their houses. I mean, we are, I guess, a diverse community. We are a Long Island, so it's very difficult to go from the Hamptons to the city very quickly. And there, it could be the travel. It could be that we work long hours here, and being outside of the city, we often have to travel back and forth, and the travel is intense. And that may be the reason why we don't get as much engagement on Long Island. And I'll have to say, after putting a little bit of effort in, we do have 400 members, but there are many more that we can tap into. So what we do, just an overview, we focus on networking, mentoring, education, career support, community engagement, and fostering a safe space for you to kind of get some advice. These areas have been our pillars for the past 2 years, and we've kind of focused mostly on the networking and the career support area. We also have a really strong community engagement area. We want to enhance our education and mentoring and safe space areas so that you know where things are really focused right now. I wanted to share a few stats because this is something that is important to our organization and why we do this on Long Island and why we do this overall. The U.S. is shown to have 1.4 million computing jobs by the year 2020. This is a number from the job statistics report. This number, if you split it out, overall, women will obtain only 3% of those jobs. So 68% will go overseas, okay? 29% will be from our male counterparts, and 3% will be women. I think we need to do something about that, right? That's just one stat, and we've got lots of others. New York, there's tons of open computing jobs. We can see 29,000, right? We don't have many computer science graduates, and our high schools are really lacking in computer science. So we have only 187 high schools that go to the level of AP computer science. So this is the challenges we face on Long Island, and why I'm really passionate about continuing the progress that we've had with Long Island Women in Tech. How do we do it? We have 4 different committees that two of the committees kind of overlap and work together. But the 4 committees that we are focused around are member engagement, fundraising, partnerships, community, and student engagement. The partnerships and fundraising committee kind of overlaps, like I mentioned, because a lot of our partnerships will help gain corporate sponsorships. I'm going to go through each of these, so I'm not going to spend too much time on this slide, but I want to go through each of these because this is where you're going to be able to volunteer and participate. A lot of members say, you know, I only could do a certain amount. Obviously, we have a limited time. I can only do really an hour a month, or I can do 5 hours a month with Long Island Women in Tech, 1 hour a week. What that means to me is that's great, but what is it that you can help us with, right? So that's where I wanted to share with you the 4 committees. And if you find that one of these committees is an area that really means something to you or you're passionate about, that's the area that you probably would want to volunteer in. We have different roles in those committees, and I'll share that in a minute. So I wanted to also share with you some of our impact, because when you join an organization and you commit to volunteering, you want to know that it's going to go somewhere, right? It's great. It's a resume builder. I know that there's a lot of reasons to volunteer. A resume builder, it's networking, it's an ability to learn a new skill, which obviously our team constantly teaches each other things. But we also make an impact on Long Island, and we network with many different organizations, schools, businesses on Long Island. And over the 3 years, we've done over 18 events. We have engaged over 1,000 individual students one-on-one. So we've done some really significant things with just a little bit of time and effort from our directors. So Volunteer opportunities. Let's get into the details of what those opportunities are, and then I can answer any questions that you have. So the first committee that we have is the Member Engagement Committee, and this is to engage our members, obviously. We have 400 of them. We have in-person and online events. We do blogs. We do video logs. We do recordings like we're doing right now. We have a social media area. We're trying to put together an informal coaching program as well, because that is what's been asked of us from our members. The challenge with that type of stuff is that we need your help. So the areas where we need help are listed below. People who have a knack for event planning or finding the right speakers for events. Blogging, if you'd like to write a blog or write about a subject that you're learning about or that you've learned about already and you want to teach people about, we're happy to publish your content. The more content, the better. Obviously, we'll have an editor to help you out. And we also do need help with our Techie of the Month blog and highlighting women who are on Long Island that are in tech today and that we can highlight through our platform. Social media. So if you are on social media at any point during the day, which I'm constantly there for work, you'll notice that there's a lot of work that could go into that. One of our directors, Shauna, who's on the line right now, has spent tons of time, of her personal time, doing it. If we had 5 people to do social media, this would not be overwhelming. It is overwhelming when it's only one. So, we have Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, Snapchat, and there's other channels that we also work through like YouTube, and I'm sure our Google Plus, if anyone ever uses that anymore. Email communications. If you are adept in writing emails, we would love to help you out, have you help us out. We constantly have to reach out to our members and give them updates on what's going on. Right now, it's pretty much one person who handles this as well as everything else. So again, any of the help that you can provide here, you don't have to own this area. You can just help out for a few hours. That would be great. Website management. If you are a WordPress junkie, I'd love to have you part of our team. If you're not and want to learn WordPress through Stefana, I'm happy to teach you. We have a WordPress website and we often update it so that it has the latest content. And updates are pretty simple. It just takes a bit of time and maybe a half hour or so every few weeks that I spend doing it. And I'd like for someone else to learn it and do it as well, rather than it just being me or Shauna doing it. Video editing. So if you're into video editing or have that skill set, we'd love to have you help us out with some videos. We do videos all the time with our webinars, but we also want to put together videos about what we've done in the past and to help appeal to our sponsors. And an informal coaching program. So if you don't have the time to do any of this back-end work that I've listed out here, but maybe you can mentor a member one-on-one every once in a while, that's something that you can definitely sign up for. We'd love to have you join. Or maybe there's a question here that says, hey, I might not be able to be a mentor, but I need a mentor. We do have a mentor program for you to sign up for. Okay, so I kind of giving you all of this. There's a lot of words on the screen. The point was that you can kind of review it later. You don't have to spend all the time on the call reading through everything. The second area that has the most need right now is our community and student engagement area. This is near and dear to my heart. It started with my kids. So I have 2 children, and I've started teaching them and their friends how to code. And it's expanded tremendously. Over the past 2-3 years, we've visited over 1,000 individual students and taught them how to code, or given them feedback on their resumes, or given them feedback on their applications, or helped them achieve scholarships. All of this stuff takes time and effort, and all of us have the opportunity to give back. So even if you're a Queens College student, for example, you can help a high school student learn a little bit about where they should head in their future. This is something that's constantly asked of us, and I want to do more here. If we have more volunteers, we absolutely can. Assemblies and classroom visits. If you could spare an hour of your time during the week and walk into a classroom and tell them about your experience. People constantly ask me to do it, and sometimes we can't make it. We also have our XX Coders group in Wyandanch that does a coding club, and they would love to have members come in and share their experience on Thursdays. I can share some of the timeline there in a little bit. Tips for students or parents. So, hey, maybe you have an idea of how to manage your social media profile properly, or maybe you learn something that can help a student that's up and coming, or a parent that needs to understand how to get their kid into this area of that career. This is where we could use blogs, handouts, guides, presentations. Anything that you've already prepared is very helpful as well. I've used a lot of the things I've prepared in the past at work and pulled them in here, and it's been really successful for our parents who join this group, not being in tech, but join it because they want their kids to join tech. We have Hour of Code, Robotics Club. We also do college events. You might not be the person who speaks on a panel discussion at a college, but we do need help planning those events and getting them off the ground, or even just promoting them. So definitely an area that that could use some help. The reward is huge here, right? Every time we go to a college event, we get tons of new members, and we get tons of feedback from other organizations that want to join in. So this is good. And last but not least, student mentoring. I mentioned this earlier, but high school and college level students are always asking for us to mentor. Stefana, can you look at my LinkedIn profile and tell me how to do this right? This is an art, not a science. So I do help and spend an hour with each student that asks. We could definitely do more here. And I know that I'm unfortunately leaving a lot of them on the table because I don't have the time in my own day. So the two areas that I didn't mention are partnership and fundraising. And these areas, they do have a committee formed already, and that's good. The thing that's funny about this is we haven't done any fundraising yet. So all of this has been out of pocket of the directors. So we're trying this year to go for grants and funding through VCs and such to fund, or maybe even host some paid events. If you've done work in this area and are willing to spend some time teaching us or running one of these areas, please do let us know. And I'm going to share with you how to let us know, right? Because this is another thing. It's very simple. We have a form. I put together a form. I put it together today, so apologize for any anything that's incorrect on the form. The point is for you to sign up and tell me, really, out of all the areas that I mentioned just now, which ones appeal to you? Because as a volunteer, you're only going to put the effort in if it's something you're really passionate about. You may not really like managing a budget, but you may love talking to students. Tell me that in the form, and this is where I'm going to be reaching out to you individually to get you onboarded. So that is all I have to present today. I wanted to give you the rundown of the organization, the rundown of the volunteer positions, and where we could use your help, and obviously answer any of your questions. So anyone on the phone have a question or feedback on the session? I think I spoke forever. And everyone's like, no feedback. So all you need to do is go to this link here, and I'm going to just open it up here.
I mean, I'll say, Stefana, I think it's amazing what the organization has done in a short period of time, and the momentum that you've gained. I certainly personally have really appreciated some of the Lunch and Learn webinars. I've really appreciated the partnership you've done with the schools, where you're really getting high school, grade school, elementary school kids doing Hour of Code, website build projects that this organization has done, and just a chance to even, meet some new people. So I don't know what I will commit to yet, but,
Jean, what do you
I am definitely interested. more time
I
helping out.
appreciate that. Thank you, Jean, for the feedback. It's, you know, we do get a lot of good feedback, but it's not, you know, it only comes in drips and drabs. So it's always good to hear back from the members if we're doing something right, right? It takes a lot of effort from our directors. And if you go through our website, you probably go look and you see that we only have 4 directors total, right? And it's just the 4 of us doing all the work today. And maybe we have outside help that comes in every once in a while. Even, you know, 5 new people joining in to help us out will make a tremendous impact to the organization. And all we're asking for is time, right? Time and your expertise, or your learning. So if the case is you don't have the expertise, don't think that I knew anything about WordPress before I created this website, right? I didn't. I had to learn on my own. And we're very happy and willing to teach you social media management or website management or how to coach someone on their LinkedIn profile. All of those things can be taught, and we are happy to teach you if you're willing to volunteer. Thank you, Gina. I appreciate it. Any other questions? Any questions from the team on the phone? I see a few people. I know not everyone was able to join. They asked me to record. So if you do have questions after this, obviously you could always reach out to us on our website, or you can go and email us at liwomenintech@gmail.com. I monitor that inbox daily, so we're there. All right, so this is all you need to do to sign up. Go to liwomenintech.com/volunteer, and you can click sign up today. You can learn more about us, or you can take a look at the descriptions that I provided about the volunteer opportunities. A little later today, I'm going to put the presentation up on this site. I just hadn't published it yet. So you'll see it up here, and you'll be able to scroll through and read a little bit more about the descriptions that I put together.
And Stefana, if anyone else is like me, like interested in committing a little bit of time, but not sure just in which of the 4 areas, can we just submit the form to express interest?
Yeah, I think that's fine, Gina. If you want to, in the form, it asks you to just, there's an area that you could describe a little bit more about yourself and tell us what your areas you like. That would be helpful. We asked you to check off a few things that might be interesting. It just gives us an idea of who to have you touch base with on our team. It's really more for directing you to the right person. But if you have no idea what you want to do but want to talk to me about it, I am happy to have coffee at the Babylon Bean, or and we can chat through. Okay. Well, guys, thank you for taking a little bit of your after lunch hour to speak with me today. I really appreciate it. Sorry for the technical difficulties earlier. Again, if you do have any questions, just reach out. I'm here all the time. All right. It was nice to see you all. Thanks, Jean. Nice new office there. Have a good day, guys.
Bye, everybody.